Craig, just give us an update on how Jeremy Howe's going, welfare, headspace, and injury-wise.
Yeah, my understanding how he saw a specialist yesterday. I'm not aware of exactly what that entailed at the moment. So he wanted to come in today, and the doctor sort of kept him away. So my understanding, he'll be in early next week, and I'll get a bit more of a clearer idea how long he's going to be out then.
How hard is it going to be to keep him away and trying to keep him out of the action with his personality and how much he likes the club?
Yeah, exactly like today, he wanted to come in, but the medico said stay away. He's an incredible leader around our place, and we'll miss him on and off the field. Yeah.
You locked in Billy Frampton as replacement this weekend?
Yeah, Billy Frampton will play. We haven't announced that yet, so just might keep that to yourself.
Just tell us about Billy, because he arrived here as someone who hadn't played a lot of senior football, but obviously he was in the frame round one and now he plays round two.
Yeah, I had a conversation with him last week, and we recruited Billy for a reason. We think if you go back to our practice games, he played on Mackay against Carlton, and then Howie and Braden Maynard were our best players. It allowed those guys to play in a different matchup, and then we play Hawthorn, and he plays on a key matchup, and then Darcy Moore's our best player. So he's got that ability to take a big target away or a big key forward for the opposition, and then allow others to get to work. I'm excited to see what he can do.
A couple of first gamers in the black and white on the weekend, Bobby Hill and Tom Mitchell. How did you see their contributions?
Yeah, well, look, I think both have been well reported the impact they had on the game. Around Tom, really clear, we don't need him to get the 30 possessions, which he's averaged for his whole career. He just won't get that with us. We're a low possession team, but we got him here for a reason. He's a first possession clearance player, and he's an elite at that. And on the weekend, everyone got to see what that was, and that's all we ask every week, that he just comes and plays a role for the team.
Made a difference with the clearances. I think he won by 7 or 8 over them.
Yeah, it was nice. Last year we didn't win too many times on the clearance sheet, but it's an important part of the game. We've got to get the territory, and we went to work over the pre-season about what that looked like, and then this year's a focus for us.
Great, I said last week you start from 18. Start the year when you knock off the reigning premiers round one. How much belief does that have?
Yeah, we're still realistic. It's round one. Like I think it's amazing a week in footy. Last week we had people say that we may not make the finals here or there. That's their opinion. And then now this week we're top of the ladder, whatever it looks like the team to be. We don't live in that space. We're a process-driven team. It's nice to get affirmation that things we're doing well, and we've still got a lot of work to do.
Ash Johnson kicking 4 goals in their practice match. Is that enough for him to get in, or do you need to see a few more performances like that?
Well, I think Ash has shown the last 10 days, 2 weeks in his training standards, that performance at VFL level was what we were hoping. I think he's going to need to back it up a few weeks in a row to do that, but it's really pleasing to see a guy plays to his strengths at the VFL level. We want all our VFL players to play above that level, and Ash was a good example of that.
Just on Bobby, again, obviously you mentioned the impact he had first up. It's not always easy for small forwards to do that every week. How do you get sort of something really good out of him again this week? Yeah,
well, it's the same as Bobby with Tom Mitchell. We're not looking for this amazing output. Our 3 goals is a huge outcome for a small forward, but we just want his pressure and his role play and his ability to play in our system, and that's what we'll reward internally. And he gets 3 goals, we get excited for that. Maybe a little bit more here and there, but I think the role playing Bobby is the one we want every week.
I've been quite happy with Ricky McInnes's impacts coming on last week.
Yeah. Well, again, it's affirmation for his pre-season. I said this leading in the game. We'd like to reward him more than just the sub. This week, who knows? We haven't picked the team yet, but he might be the sub again. Again, can you keep that to yourself? But time will tell on what we do with the team. But he can come on, he can impact. It's amazing. His height is deceptive. He's the same height as Checkers, and slightly smaller than McStay. But so he's a weapon. He can mark the ball, and he's aggressive. So that's a good start from him.
Just on Regan, I mean, you feel like he's come with a bit of rush in the last month in terms of his spot in the senior side. Can you tell us about that? Was he always in the frame for round one across the summer?
No, well, I would say he had the shoulder of reconstruction, and that he missed most of the second half of last year, and he would have played a lot more footy last year. That's the reality. He played well when he played with us, and then unfortunately got injured. And then he's just a hungry kid. You come here on a Sunday when everyone else is at home on the couch, he's in there working. He's that kid that you walk in and you go, this kid's going to get the best out of himself, and we love that around our environment, and he gets rewarded for that.
Port Adelaide is one of the best sides at converting possession chains into scores. As a team that plays a similar way, how do you stop that?
Well, they had 24 marks inside 50. That's where we're going to get to work on that. But the supply up the ground, they're very impressive. Everyone earmarks before round one, who's going to be good and who's not. I tell you, this team is one to watch, and we're going to have to bring our best version of ourselves.
A bit of a different prospect also with that extra explosiveness with Vaughan Francis. What do you make of that? How do you counter that?
Oh, I love the youth in their team. You know, you go when he threw them all in the midfield in the second half. They'd be excited for that. We'd like to back in our midfield and think, okay, let's get to work. It's going to be a pivotal part of the game. The contest, the aerial power of them taking contested marks. There's so many things that we have to watch out for, but I'm sure they're the same thing back in Adelaide about us.
Great. Do you expect Nick to get a tag this weekend? Think you'd be ready for that?
Well, if I'm the opposition, I'd tag Nick. Yeah, I would. Like, he's a weapon. And you've got to take something away from the opposition, and I'd be looking to tag him.
David King spoke a lot about the fact that you're using the Collingwood and he sees that as really elite coaching. Do you think that is really elevating the club at the moment and taking away strengths of others, the fact that you guys aren't going to win a lot of the time?
Well, it's the reality of I think the early rounds it's hard to get a gauge, but most teams are rebounding from D50 pretty well. The statistics are up from previous years, and maybe it's early in the year. So let's give it a month and we'll see how we go.
How's Taylor Adams with his foot? Saw him early in the week, sort of had a lighter session and left today a bit earlier than the rest. How's he tracking ahead of Saturday?
No, he's fine. One thing I noticed early in the week post this game was a lot of bruises on shins and knees and quads that they didn't have leading into the game. So we just manage those things like every week, and he looked really energetic today.
Coaches this week have been asked about the bump. Is it dead or does it still have a place in the game? Where do you sit on that?
I'm not going to get caught up in the commentary of the bump, but I've made comments already this week about protecting our players and awareness around the head knocks and what the future looks like and the present. I'm concerned as a past player for my own potential risk in the future, and you're scared to hear these stories, and all we can do is protect our players, and I'm sure the game's going to go forward with that mindset.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Tough.
Cheers, mate.